All right, welcome another special episode of the Score and More podcast. Pat Stoetzer of CMSportsNet, joined by recent South Carroll High School graduate Leah Miller. Leah Miller, three-sport athlete for the Cavaliers for all 4 years, right, Leah?
Yep.
Yeah, we'll jump into it. Thanks for being a guest on the podcast, and thanks for agreeing to want to do it. I wanted to get right into it with the fact that played 3 sports in high school. That's not uncommon, but all 4 years. I mean, when you were an 8th grader going into 9th grade and you knew you were going to South Carroll, I mean, how nervous/excited were you to go in and say, hey, I want to do these 3 things for the next 4 years? You're basically never taking a break of playing a lot of sports. That's a lot of stuff. Think back to that if you can, 4 years ago. What was that whole experience like to get into high school and be an athlete?
I think that, starting with the fall sport, that was honestly the most important thing for me. Like, I think playing 3 sports in general kept me very organized. I always had to have a schedule, not a lot of downtime to get lazy, which helped me.
Right.
But also playing a fall sport I think is so important because that was my group of friends going into high school that I had, so I wasn't as nervous as a freshman because I had a bunch of friends. And I don't know, it was just really nice. You got to go to all the football games stuff with your team, and I learned a lot from volleyball. I hadn't played it yet, but I learned a lot. And it also was a good little kind of rest on my body before I got into basketball and lacrosse, which were more physically taxing sports.
Sure. Okay, so you knew you wanted to do basketball and lacrosse, obviously.
Yep.
Why volleyball? You could have done soccer, you could have run cross country, field hockey even. Sometimes the skills kind of carry from hockey to lacrosse. What about volleyball? Because that's a weird one to sort of throw in there. No offense to volleyball, but
I feel lacrosse and basketball are so similar, so I wanted something that was really different and also use different muscles and stuff because I was playing lacrosse around with club. So getting to play volleyball, I don't know, you still have to be very fit for it, but you just have to use different muscles, which really helps. So I don't know, it wasn't so hard on my knees and stuff because I was playing a different sport with more upper body stuff. So yeah, I wanted something different, and it's such a fun sport. It's so fast.
It is,
you have to use your whole team. I just loved it. It was a really fun sport.
I know you're a team-oriented athlete, and we'll get into some of your individual, success and team success. But the volleyball team for the last 4 years has been pretty competitive and very successful. What was that journey like to be part of that squad?
It was so fun. I think the biggest thing too about it that made the biggest difference is the girls were just so close on that team. That was just a big team sport. Every practice was so much fun. We were all really close with Coach Keck, too. It was just super fun. And also, there wasn't any, pressure on it either. I think with, basketball and lacrosse, knowing that those were sports that I had played, especially with lacrosse, wanting to go to college for it, there was more pressure with that. But with volleyball, I finally just got to play and have fun with it. So that was really helpful. And I think that's why I was, successful in it my last year, so.
Yeah, for sure. You were more on the defensive side, a libero, a defensive specialist. But I'm not to say you can't go up there and get it killed. What made you want to be, as someone that we know is known for their offense, to play? Was it more fun to sort of get some defensive skills in there?
Definitely. I think also in volleyball, it's kind of an overlooked underdog position too. And it was really fun just getting to be in the back, diving and stuff. Yeah, that was super fun.
Yeah. So success there, and then going to basketball. And you've been playing basketball obviously for a while. And we were just before we hit record here, we were talking about things, and it surprised me to say that of all the sports, you might miss basketball the most. You had the most fun. What is it about the hardwood that just once you got onto the court in the gym and got inside? Well, you went from the gym in the fall to the gym in the winter. What got your juices flowing for basketball?
Basketball was just so fun. So my first 2 years when I was freshman on varsity, it was just really cool getting to be with the older girls.
Yeah.
I loved Coach Shea. It was just so fun, and it's one of those sports where you just get to run around and be an athlete. And I guess it was also really exciting coming in from lacrosse. I was in good shape. I just loved running back and forth, playing defense. I was definitely more of a defensive player my freshman and sophomore year.
Okay.
But then my junior and senior year, we got a new coach, and he really developed my offensive skills a lot. And I don't know, it just became so fun. Our team was really good. It's fun when you win stuff.
Of course,
That was definitely last year. Nobody really expected us to be very good. We lost a lot of players, but yeah, we ended up being really good. We did really well, beat FSK in Gold Rush. Yeah, it was just such a fun year. I don't know, it's just such an athletic sport, I feel and I just love running around. And again, the team, my best friends.
Yeah. You bond, of course, with the volleyball girls, basketball and lacrosse, but obviously with basketball, those teams are smaller in number too, so there's more of a chance to be close-knit.
Get a lot of reps too.
Get a lot of reps, absolutely. So you mentioned new coach, Ryan Hutchison came in as a junior, when you were a junior, I should say, and he helped develop your offense. I mean, it was there the first couple years with Coach Shea. 2 coaches, sometimes it can be oh, okay, now what's happening here? I don't like the way this is going. going. The team lost a player to injury, Harley McKee, one of your top from last year to this year. But that team went to the regional finals and lost a really close game against Catoctin, if my memory is right. So you had that motivation to get going again this year. And you mentioned like being competitive in Carroll County. Girls basketball in Carroll County has come up in recent years. What was it like to go against the Westminsters, the Keys, the Liberties, and Centuries? They're rivals and stuff. And those games were always coming right down to the wire most of the time.
It's just like it's so fun. It's so exciting, especially like basketball. I feel like being in like such a like tight gym, having all the fans like close to the like this like stands so close to the court and stuff. It's just like Gold Rush. It's just like a lot of emotions and stuff. It's just so fun. Like I remember Gold Rush of my junior year was so fun. Like we were down by a lot and then we made a comeback and ended up beating them. It was just so fun.
So Gold Rush, let's talk about that, because that's when they pack the gym. It's all 4 games, JV and varsity boys and girls basketball in the gym. It's the Hall of Fame game, which you might be in one day down the line, but just the atmosphere there. I mean, Liberty and Century, we talked about that a lot on our podcast. That's a huge rivalry, and they pack the gyms for that. Westminster Winters Mill, the city game, that packs. Whoever South Carroll's playing that night, you guys really get in there. Extra nerves, extra anticipation because everyone's watching, that kind of a thing?
My freshman and sophomore year, I was so nervous. I was like, I remember my freshman year, I was like, I don't really want to play in this.
I'll sit on the bench, right?
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, I hope I get sick. But I was a little nervous. So my junior year, it was just like so exciting, having all your friends like standing there, and like the whole week before you do like themes and stuff. Everybody's so excited for like the t-shirts and and then my senior year ended up getting sick, got the flu before.
So you cursed yourself.
I was so upset. That was like, I was so excited for that game too. And because we lost to Westminster earlier in the season, I was like, we can so beat them. Like after that game, we just played so bad, and we had like really come a long way too since that game. So we're like, oh, we got this. And then I was so upset once I got sick. It's like, you got to be kidding me, my senior year.
It happens. You shouldn't have talked about that to yourself. The basketball gods were unkind to you. But you came back, and again, obviously those seasons, you want to be better, wins and losses, but you obviously had a lot of fun. And it's interesting to hear, though, that of all the lacrosse success you had, that basketball might be the one you'll miss. Now, you're going to go on and play lacrosse in college. We'll talk about that in a minute. But why is basketball the most special to you?
I think, honestly, one of the most fun parts about it is because it's not my sport. Like lacrosse, I feel like I've been doing it for so long. Like I'm kind of at like I don't know. I know a lot about lacrosse. With basketball, there's like so much more to learn. It's kind of like you just have to go out there, do your best and stuff. Like you're not a basketball player, I guess, which is so
You're
helpful.
a lacrosse player playing basketball.
And Coach Ryan, like the difference from like the first 2 weeks of my junior season with him to like the end of my season, I just grew so much. I learned so much, and I don't know, that was just really fun. Like it's so fun to learn new things, I guess.
Yeah, you had plenty of memories, big wins. I think you were a holiday tournament MVP as a junior year. You scored more than 700 points in your career between the 4 years. Beating Key at Gold Rush. Some of those games stick out the most? Did your playoff run from 2 years ago? What stands out?
There was 1 week. So we had a really bad run before. It was like after Westminster. I don't know. We just weren't doing as well as we wanted to. Some close games. And then we had a really tough week coming up. It was Liberty, Key, and Catoctin, who we lost to the year before. Liberty, we had just lost to them the year before. Like, it was just not I don't know. We had to come back, and we won all of those games. It was just such, like, a great week because it wasn't, like, individual wins or anything. Like, my whole team came together, and everybody stepped up. Like, Gabby Evans, she tore her ACL the year before. She stepped up big in all those games. Everybody just played really well, and it was just so fun. Like, the whole time we were playing Key, even if we got down, like, we knew like we had it, and spirits were just really high. Coach Ryan was really happy the whole time. Like
practice was fun, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like he's a serious guy, but he let us have fun as long as we were getting the drills done and stuff. Like I don't know, we were allowed to kind of goof around a little bit that week, and it was just like it was a really fun week.
Yeah, that can be a thing too. Like his first year, he's buttoned up because he wants to make sure you're making the right impression, and what's he getting himself into coming from a different county, getting to know you guys. By this year, he knows your tendencies. He knows that you're one of the leaders, and Charlotte Harrington, other girls on the team he can probably know when to let his foot off the gas a little bit. Once you, like you said, once you get the drills done and get the job done, it's easier. Could you sense a difference between junior year and senior year?
Yeah, we liked to mess with Coach Ryan this year, and I don't know, he was just really funny, and It was really good this year. We were definitely like more comfortable with each other. We knew what we needed, like players, coaches, what he needed to say to us. It was just like all around, it was a really good year. Like every practice, I feel like we were really productive and knew what we needed to get done each time. Like when to be serious, when it was okay to be a little more relaxed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you have to have that balance, right? I mean, I think you do. It seems like you should.
And for 2.5 hour practices every day.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. Sometimes we needed a fun one.
Of course. Yeah. You got to let some steam off. You get to the spring, and the 2023 spring, you guys played a home game against. 2024 spring, you guys played a home game in the state playoffs against Falston and came up just short. And we won't go too deep into it, but that game you have to wait a whole year to sort of get back into that realm. How hard was that? I'm going to ask you another question in a second, but let's start there because that game, it was really close. You were at home and you guys fell short. And you and I have talked between then and now about just what it took to get back. How motivated were you, and how much did you say, I'm going to put, not the team on my shoulder, I'm going to be one of the kids on this team that gets us going in the right direction?
Yeah, after that game, I was just so upset. I think it was the fact, too, where it was like we had it, too. Like, we were up a couple in the first half. Like, It was just so right there. It was like taking care of Liberty was, like, the hard thing, and now just got to get by Falston. So it was just, like, right there, which really sucked. But, yeah, the next season coming around, it was really important for like Charlotte and I to kind of set like the tone. Like, we got to focus this year. Like, this is our year to get it. Everything was just like so in place for us, like in our favor. So every practice, like setting the pace, like we were working hard every practice for the full practice. And like Coach Bridget, for her practices, I feel like it wasn't as much as like the time. It was more of like how productive you were for the practice. It was like if you go hard the whole practice, like you'll get done a little early and stuff. So it was just like be productive each practice. And everyone worked like really hard. And that week leading up to the second Falston game, like everyone was just so dialed in. That was a really great week. We got a lot done, and I don't know. I feel like everyone on the team like got better too because it was kind of crunch time.
Yeah, yeah. You had to face them this year in the semifinals, so you were on the road way down in Wheaton. It was a weird night. It rained and stormed, and then you guys played the second game. There was a Liberty boys played the first game. You guys played, so it was late night. That game, I remember we were there, and it really sort of encapsulated what you guys did all year. You played really good defense. You could score goals, but if it was going to be a little more of a slugfest, you guys had what it took to get it done, where maybe in years past those games didn't quite go your way the year before. It wasn't a high-scoring game, but they outlasted you guys. You had to get there first, of course, to navigate through a really hard Carroll County. You and I have talked a lot about Carroll County girls lacrosse, but the feeling of getting past that game, did that just open everything up and say, oh, we're going to be so relaxed in the finals when we play Middletown? Yep,
that was like, that whole day was really weird. We just kept getting moved back, and like, it's hard.
I didn't think you were going to play. I thought they were going to postpone it.
And it's so hard when all you can do is just like sit there and wait. Eat. Yeah, it was terrible. But we made the most of it. Like, we were like, we're going to turn some music on, be in a good mood, like pass, stretch. Like, I don't know, we just couldn't leave anything up to chance, and like everyone knew that. So during that game too, when things kind of like, there were a couple of slow spots in it. It was just like, come together, take a breath, guys, we got it. And after that game, we were just like, I don't know, we had beat Middletown before, not to like underestimate them or anything, but it was
you already
just
had a
like,
convincing win against them during the season.
It did give us more confidence. Like, that was the one. It was like one game at a time, definitely, but after that, it was like, now we have to do the whole thing.
And the finals were tight for a bit, and then you guys pulled away.
Yep.
When the Zeros hit the scoreboard, and it was the first time since 2019 that South Carroll had won, but only the second one in the school's history. And to be on the field for that and to celebrate that, I know it's been a few months away now. Do you still think back to that day in May?
Gosh, that was like my favorite day of high school. That was like all I wanted. Like, after Shannon and Caroline left their senior year, I was like, I don't know if we'll be able to win one, but I don't know. After we beat Liberty, I was
just going to get to it. Yeah,
I was just like, okay, we have to win it. And that was actually the best day ever. I was so happy.
Tied. Beating Liberty and winning the title, the best days ever.
Honestly, yeah. But I remember we had like a long bus ride home, and I still didn't taking my cleats off.
From the finals?
Yeah,
you were in full uniform?
Yeah, full uniform.
Did it rain that night? I can't remember.
I think it might have rained for the one after us.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
Not during my game.
Okay,
it was
good.
so nice out,
Good.
too.
That's good. Yeah, it wasn't even that hot. It was a little bit breezy over there at Stevenson. You mentioned Liberty, and they're the crosstown rival, but they've been very good. They've been the 1A state champs. They went 3 in a row, and they were good. To beat them in the playoffs, I don't need to ask you how motivating it was you need a lot of motivation to try to win that game in the regular season as well. So, I mean, playing your rivals like that, the Centuries, the Liberties, and even the others, Westminster and Winters Mill and Key, they're all rivals, really, and Man Valley, of course, too. Does that make you a better player to be able to play those girls year in and year out, or week in and week out?
Definitely. And with your rival, that's all like a mental thing. First time we played Liberty, we were up, I think it might have been 7-0 on them the first time. We were up a lot. And again, playing your rival, like those are funny games because
Sure.
I feel like it honestly doesn't even come down to who has more skill. It's who's like stronger mentally. So that game, they didn't give up. They came back, brought it in. At one point, I think they brought it in within 2. It ended up being like 11-8 final score. But yeah, that's just who's like the tougher mentally. And I feel like that whole week we did so much like team bonding the week before. That was honestly more preparation than the Falston game for us.
Wow.
Like we really needed that one because it's mental. It can go either way with that point, no matter how much you've prepared. Like playing wall ball, getting extra shots in practice.
Watching film of them or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, there was a point where I was like, every class of that day, like I just watched Liberty film and I was like, it doesn't really even like matter anymore. It's just who's more like pumped when you go to the game.
I know you're friends with them, but at the end of the game, you let out a little, cheer that maybe Coach Scanlon didn't want you to. But
no.
that's the heat of the game, right? I mean, you're not doing it really toward them. You're just saying, thank gosh we got them. We did catch it on our cameras. Okay.
I was just so pumped.
I could tell, and you had the regional trophy in your hands as well. It of course, it makes you a better player when you play such a talented county. And we know what Man Valley did this year and how awesome they were. And Liberty before them, and obviously you guys, and Westminster's won back-to-back. And of course, Century is Century. Even though they had a quote-unquote down year, they're still pretty good.
I know. Still beat us.
Yeah, still pretty good. That was a good game, too, right down to the wire. How proud are you to be associated with I ask this a lot about the Carroll County girls lacrosse family, and it really is kind of a family. The coaches know each other. If you guys aren't in, and maybe you're not root for everybody, but you definitely want Carroll County to do well and root for the kids that are in there. Does it make you proud that you got, you came out the other side and you can now say, I'm part of Carroll County girls lacrosse history?
Yeah, it's so like, it's just such like a deep county. Every team has a lot of skill. And for me, like University of Maryland, where I'm going, a lot of the girls on their like past rosters like have been from Carroll County. Like it's just known for being a very good lacrosse county. Yeah, and all the coaches, really good coaches in the county, really good players. And there's so many like really good club teams around us too. Heroes, Skywalkers, M&D, Checkers, and not a lot of private schools nearby. So you could just get a lot of talent here.
Oh, no doubt. It's been happening forever. Along the way, you became South Carroll's all-time goals leader and actually 4th all-time in the history of the county. And we just mentioned how great the history is, and it is. 281 goals for your career. I know we talked about it as you were getting close. I think we picked you as Athlete of the Week one of those weeks. Maybe you had just done it. And you said the right things. You were like, it's going to happen, and it's my teammates help me, and then obviously those are all true. You've had some time now to let it all sink in. Does it mean more to you? State champion and the all-time leader in the school's history. And there have been very good girls come through South Carroll. Make you feel good to be sort of topping that list.
Yep, I definitely feel really good about it. It just like shows how hard everybody's worked over the past couple years to help me look good. Like Shannon and Caroline, going back to like my freshman and sophomore year, like they just supported me, wanted to make me look good, were so nice and like welcoming to me, so I could really like, I don't know, I feel like it's hard to want to score and shoot a lot as a freshman, like you're taking over somebody's spot, but they just supported me, wanted me to do well. And then my junior and senior year, like all the younger girls working so hard, my coaches trusting me, putting me in positions, like take game winners, things like that. I'm just so happy that it all happened.
You've had multiple seasons with Charlotte Harrington, and I say this to my colleagues and other coaches, and Michael Duffy when he's with me on the podcast. Now, Charlotte Harrington to me is an underrated, really good athlete, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Just she's quiet about it, but she's physical when she needs to be. She's skilled. It was like playing with Charlotte on the basketball court and on the lacrosse field for so long.
She's like my wingman. I mean, if we're going for a rebound in basketball, I know she's there. She's very scrappy, and I love that. Like on the circle, my draw controls and our team's draw controls wouldn't be where they are if it isn't for her. Because
you need somebody else to be there with you, right?
Exactly. I feel like we just like feed off of each other in both sports, which is really nice.
I'm sure you'll miss her, but you'll be heading off to College Park in a few weeks' time. Actually, at the end of this month in August, going to play women's lacrosse for University of Maryland. there's got to be nerves as you start over and become a freshman again. But what was that process? What was the whole process like to get there as you're almost a few weeks away from being there officially?
Well, when I was little, when I first started lacrosse, like Maryland, I feel like coming from Maryland is just like such a Maryland girl's dream. I remember like on my little South Carroll rec team, I wanted to name every single play Terps and Maryland. And then I remember one time for the South Carroll youth team, I was in like 3rd grade and we got to go play in like their halftime.
Oh.
And yeah, my whole room's just decked out Maryland posters from when I was little.
A lot of red and gold and black, huh?
Yep. So I don't know. I knew that was what I always wanted.
It was always kind of associated with you when we heard, Leah Miller, she's going to go to Maryland. I'm like, that's still 4 years away or 3 years away. But you always had plans for that.
Yep. My whole family went to Maryland too. And then, I just love everything about it. Good lacrosse history too.
Great lacrosse history. Other schools probably recruited you, but you pretty much had your eyes set on College Park.
Yeah, it was like, I don't know. I knew I wanted it, and then I went on my official visit, and I was just like, this is too good to be true.
You already knew you were going to go there.
Yep, it was perfect. I loved it.
Yeah. And so you said end of August 28th, you head down?
Yep.
And fall ball starts in another little bit, like another month and a half after that.
Yep, you got some preseason stuff, and then start like scrimmages, things like that.
Sure, and your goal obviously is to be there and compete on the team, but how do you think you'll approach it? Okay, I'm a freshman again, and there's 10 Leah Millers on the team, more than that. They're all coming in want to do the same thing, is what I mean. Is there added pressure there, or is it just a little bit of, hey, it's going to come and I'll take what I can?
I think I'm a little relieved, first of all, that I feel like in like club and things like that, I've almost come in as like an underdog, haven't been like ranked very high or anything. So it's like all I can do there is just like learn. I have so many great coaches, and it's like I just have so much room to grow and learn. So I don't know. I think my freshman year would definitely be like, of course I want to compete, but I think it'll be just like a great opportunity to learn and grow. I haven't like reached my peak yet, I don't think. Right. So that's just kind of the mindset.
Midfield, I mean, you're going to start in there and see what Coach Reese has in store for you?
I'd play defense, I'd play attack, I'd play goalie wherever I get on the field.
I'm just going to ask you, the sticky and goalie, you do that too, right? Yeah.
Yep, well, before the Liberty game, our goalie got the stomach bug, so at practice, me and Charlotte were practicing goalie.
Just in case.
Yep, just in case.
You and Charlotte put you guys together and swap halves and see what happens. You'd be missing a little bit of offense if you got in goal, but luckily it worked out. But well, Leah, thanks a lot for joining me. It's been a pleasure watching you play high school sports, and we'll keep tabs on you at Maryland. Go Terps, of course, and thanks for joining us on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.